And now for a few words about Donald Trump. I like him. I know how shocking that sounds to faithful viewers of this program, so let me explain. When I was a kid, the first columnist I ever read was the Boston Globe's great George Fraser, who once said he never wanted to meet politicians because he was afraid he might like them, and then he couldn't write about them objectively. I understand what he meant. Here is the moment when I met Donald Trump just 3 months ago. Donald was making his grand entrance in the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I was sitting alone at a table minding my own business. He spotted me, called my name, and watch what he did. He stretches out his hand for a handshake. He does that to a guy who savaged him 4 years ago when he was talking about running for president. I bothered him so much back then that he threatened to sue me, but he didn't care about any of that when he saw me. He just wanted to shake my hand and wish me well. Now, that moment wasn't going to happen if it was up to me. I wasn't going to go out of my way to say something nice to Donald Trump and shake his hand. Because on that night, in that moment, Donald was a bigger man than I was, and I liked him for that. It wasn't the first time Donald reached out to me. A year ago, when I returned to this show after a lengthy hospitalization and recovery from a car accident, Donald watched that first show when I came back. I really didn't know how to return to the show, meaning I just didn't know what to say about what had happened to me or if I could actually talk about it at all. I was very unsure of myself that night. And as it turned out, I spent the first 15 minutes of the show thanking from the heart all of the people who put me back together, and then I tried to move the show closer to its regular jurisdiction. The first email I read the next day was a message from Donald Trump to me. It said, "Donald Trump's office called this morning. They wanted to express Donald Trump's sentiments. He said he watched the show last night and thought Larry was great." And that touched me deeply. And when Donald Trump announced his candidacy, I welcomed it in the same spirit as Jon Stewart. This is going to be fun to cover. That's what I set out to do. That's the way I wanted to cover Donald this time.